Welcome and peace be with you. Today, we're going to explore a really profound story from the Quran, from Sūrah al-Kahf. It's a story that talks about a different kind of courage, a quieter kind. It suggests that sometimes the most faithful thing you can do isn't to charge into the storm, but to find a sacred space and just withdraw until it passes. So, let's begin.
I seek refuge in God from the rejected adversary. In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful.
This single idea really sets the whole stage for what we're about to explore. We often think of faith as this big declaration, right? A public stand. But what if, sometimes, its most vital expression is actually a strategic sacred disappearance? This, right here, is the heart of the story of the people of the cave. Okay, so let's get into the story itself. And this isn't just some adventure tale with miracles. At its core, it's about what happens when your very soul becomes the price of fitting in, and how you protect that inner spirit when the world outside becomes, well, spiritually toxic. Just try to picture this. You have a group of young men, and their only crime, if you can call it that, was a pure, sincere faith in the one true God. This simple, beautiful belief put them completely at odds with the powerful falsehoods of their entire society. Their very being was a quiet act of rebellion. And this is where we get to the absolute core of their spiritual state. Think about it. When they were backed into a corner, when the pressure was just immense, what was their prayer? What they asked for tells you everything you need to know about their priorities and their deep understanding of what truly matters.
Look at the contrast here. It's so profound. They didn't ask for what we'd probably ask for: escape, safety, victory over their enemies. No. Instead, their prayer went to a much, much deeper place. They asked for rahmah, divine mercy, and rushed, right guidance. You see, they were seeking an inner alignment with God's will far more than they wanted to change their external situation. And that in itself is an incredible lesson.
So they asked for mercy, and God answered. But the way that mercy unfolded it's breathtaking. It wasn't about clearing a path for them on the outside, but about creating this perfect sanctuary for them inside the darkness of that cave. Let's see how that happened. This just brilliantly shows the level of detail in divine care. God literally sealed their hearing from the noise of the world. The sun's actual path was changed so it wouldn't harm them. He put an aura of awe or heba around them so nobody would dare to get close. He had them turned over to preserve their bodies. And, in such a sign of immense love, even their loyal dog was honored and protected right at the entrance. Every single detail was an act of mercy. This quote really helps us kind of reframe what help even looks like. We're often looking for these loud, dramatic interventions from God. But here, God's help was silence. It was a long, protected sleep. It was a complete withdrawal from the harm and the chaos of the world, a true spiritual rescue mission.
Okay, so we've seen the outer story, the literal events, but like with everything in the Quran, there's always a deeper inner meaning, the batin. And this is where the story of a physical cave becomes a spiritual map for our own hearts.
So remember that second thing they asked for? Rushd? This is such a crucial concept to understand. It's easy to just translate it as guidance, but it is so much more than simply knowing right from wrong. So, what is it really?
Right. Here's the key. Rushdi isn't the knowledge of truth itself. It's the wisdom to know what to do with that truth in any given situation. It's that spiritual discernment to know when you should speak up and, like in their case, when the most righteous thing to do is to withdraw and protect that truth inside of you. The great master Ibn Arabi just nails it here. You can read every book in the world. You can know every rule. But Rushd, that is specific, tailored guidance from God that tells you what to do right now, in this exact moment. It's a mercy, really, that stops our knowledge from just becoming a burden or a tool for our own ego.
So this is how the outer story perfectly maps onto our inner world. The physical cave becomes a symbol for the heart, our own inner sanctuary. That long, miraculous sleep represents a suspension of our own ego, our striving, and just letting God take over. And their physical departure from the city, well, that's a call for our own inner hijra, a migration of the heart away from everything that is false.
And this beautiful line from the Sufi scholar al-Kashari just brings it all home. The story isn't just about something that happened a long time ago. It's an invitation to us. It's about learning how to turn our own hearts into a protected cave, a refuge, where our faith can be nurtured when the outside world feels, well, hostile to it.
So how do we actually do that? How do we take this incredibly deep lesson and apply it to our own lives, right here, right now? This final part is all about turning this understanding into a personal practice. Let's just take a moment and reflect on this personally.
In our jobs, our friend groups, maybe even in our families. Where do you feel that the price of belonging, the price of being accepted, is to silence a truth that you know lives in your heart?
And to go just a little bit deeper, what is that truth? What sincere belief? What part of your connection with God feels too fragile or too precious, maybe too vulnerable to just expose to the world right now? Just identifying it is the very first step to protecting it.
So here are 3 practical steps we can take. First, try to build a daily cave. This could be just 5 minutes of silence, of prayer, of remembrance that helps you disconnect from all that noise. Second, practice asking yourself that crucial question of rushed. Is this a situation that calls for my courage or for a wise withdrawal? That discernment is key. And third, when you feel that pressure building up, turn to God with his name, Yah-Hafiz, O the Preserver, the Protector.
And so we close with this prayer, this munajat, that just captures the entire essence of this story. It's a plea for that very same mercy that the youth received. O protector of fragile faith, hide us when the world is loud. Carry us through unseen years, until our hearts are ready again.
Amen. And, with all humility, we ask for forgiveness and acceptance for any AI-related mispronunciations or errors you might have heard in this explainer. Thank you so much for joining us in this reflection.